safety is a high priority subject.
I think a good safety culture is where the management of the organisation, who has overall responsibility for health and safety, work in a collaborative spirit with those who are at risk within the organisation.
Safety is perceived as a limit from a process optimization point of view, as well as an added cost. However, professionals also recognize the need of protecting their investment as well as the people.
A good safety culture means to manage unexpected events and how to investigate them and to study them in order to take the right decision at the right time.
The first step of a good safety culture is really to do it via management. Management needs to accept safety and create a so-called top-down approach. It needs to filter down from the top of management to the lowest level of engineers who actually need to do the work.
20 years ago, the knowledge of the standards and good practices about safety in the industry was much less than it is today. There were much less systems applied as safety ones, and most of them were mainly based on relay. Regulation and standards were not existing or less stringent.
There are many issues being considered in the revision of 61508, but a major aim is to improve the clarity of the current requirements. Other issues being considered are security and also routes to compliance, and in particular safety manual for compliant items. Certainly in the context of the United Kingdom, IEC 61508 and IEC 61511 represent current good practice, and the Health and Safety Executive, a major safety regulatory body in the UK, accepts that IEC 61508 and IEC 61511 can form the basis of meeting legal requirements, in that they represent current good practice. That is not to say that it is a mandatory requirement in the UK to use either of these two standards.
That's a very important question. The answer is very articulated. We have one law to be followed, the law 106 of the year 68. We have strictly to follow the state-of-the-art represented by CEI committee. So the 61508 since 3 years is now a norm of the CEI, so it must be followed.
The IEC 61511 is a guideline, it's not a law. But why would you, as a plant manager, not following a globally accepted standard on functional safety? You, as a plant manager, are personally, in most of the countries, responsible for the safety of your own people. You have to have a good reason to explain, if something happens, why you have not followed the latest best engineering practice in functional safety.
In my opinion, it should be possible to draw some conclusions from the accident statistics of each country. A number of reports exist on this matter. The number of environmental accidents linked to risk is rising everywhere, partially as a result of the increasing age of the installations, and partially because of a lack of good risk management training for the personnel. The statistics for deaths resulting from environmental accidents are not inconsiderable either, up to 40 or 50 cases per year, as a result of violations of both security rules and environmental regulations. I do not have the statistics for neighboring countries. What counts is whether the system works or not. I cannot answer you with statistics. However, I can say that in Great Britain, as a result of industrial competition, or in Germany, for reasons to do with their legal system, instead of thinking of the law as an impediment to progress, they consider the fact that companies can be legally supervised as a form of protection. So I believe that in countries which enjoy a better relationship with the legal system, it is easier to exploit the law in a positive way.